Ice up. Ice what?
Whoa, whoa, baby, poke it out, poke it out, poke it out, baby.
So part 3 of the Nas post, as you guys know him, putting his jacket in the washer because he's insecure about his camo jacket because it doesn't zip up.
That lady you just seen about 5 seconds ago, if you're interested, she just made a channel that's gonna revolve around her snakes. So if you guys want to go see that, if you're interested, go ahead and go subscribe to it. I'll put the link in the description. And yeah, if you want to support me double, you go subscribe to my girlfriend. Okay, bye. Finally got that crackhead out of my chair. I'm about to make this quick because we got pizza upstairs and your boy is hungry. But you guys know how I like grading things. I grade everything. I graded the first week of free agency. I graded the off season last year. I graded free agency. I graded everything. I grade stuff on this channel. I grade the Saints. I'm like the Saints teacher. I'm giving them a report card. And the first position out of this entire series I'm going to be doing is the secondary. It's not really a position. It's positional groups. I'm going to be doing like the secondary, the wide receiver core. You know, that stuff will get its own positional video. But the secondary, I feel like, is something that should be graded as a whole because the secondary works best together. You can't have one good corner and have a lockdown secondary. That's just not how it works. You can't have 3 good corners, 2 bad safeties, and succeed. That's just not how it works. The secondary is the most teamwork-based position in the positional group in the entire game of football, and there's no changing my mind about that. You could have one Aaron Donald and a bunch of undrafted rookies on a defensive line and still get 19 sacks in a year. This is where I'm going to be grading every single player on our secondary based on how they performed last year, or in Patrick Robinson's case, the last year he was healthy. And I'm going to give them a final grade, and we're going to see how good our secondary actually is. Let me know down below if you guys agree. If you're new, make sure to subscribe. Let's get right into this video. So the first position I wanted to start with is obviously the cornerback position. Safeties always come last. That's just how it is. But the first corner I would like to evaluate is Marshon Lattimore. Now, Marshon Lattimore is a player that drastically changed, 1, the attitude, and 2, the capability of our entire defense, not even just our corner position alone. Marshon Lattimore, ever since he came into the league, his rookie year, has been a dynamic, game-changing player that has been responsible for the whole flip-flop of our defense, along with help from defensive coordinator Dennis Allen. But Marshon Lattimore, you noticed whenever he was out a couple games last year, whenever he would have flip-flops, the secondary would play different, and it wouldn't be as good as it was when he was in. Obviously, he's a game changer. Last year, he had a 78.3 Pro Football Focus grade, which they grade harshly, was way above average. Last season, he had 49 solo tackles, 2 interceptions, previously had 5. 12 passes defended, previous 18, and 4 forced fumbles. He doubled that stat from the year prior. People have been saying that Marshon Lattimore had a sophomore slump. I wouldn't say that. I would just say he had more help in the secondary with the addition of Eli Apple. You know, PJ Williams had a pretty good season, and our safeties didn't play half bad either. So I think he went from turning an entire defense himself to, you know, providing more teamwork-based things, and people figured out that he was an amazing elite caliber corner and thought, yeah, let's not throw his direction. So that's pretty much exactly what happened. I give Marshon Lattimore a solid A+ because he is an elite corner, one of the best in the league by far, even though he had an off year. The only bad game he had was against Tampa Bay week 1, and everybody on the defense sucked that game. No hard feelings towards Marshon, A+. My second corner is obviously, because I'm doing this in order of which position they play, Eli Apple. Eli Apple had a 65.0 Pro Football Focus grade, which I said they grade harshly, is still above average. I think a lot of Saints fans have an extremely wrong and bad impression on Eli Apple. You guys think he's a lot worse than he is. He's not bad. He's a very solid corner. I don't know where you guys are getting all this hate and all of this negativity towards Eli Apple from. He did a great job. He didn't play amazing in his years in New York, but does anybody not named Odell Beckham do that? Eli Apple had trouble with a lot of players on the defense. He had arguments with Landon Collins. He hated everybody on that team. and I can't blame him. The New York Giants is an extremely cancerous organization that anybody being a part of will dislike. I don't know, man. You guys hate him for no reason. That's all I gotta say. In 10 games, Eli Apple doubled his career total in interceptions, snagging 2 interceptions on the New Orleans Saints. Keep in mind, he had 10 games on our team last year. 5 of them were played in New York. He took a break week to learn the playbook. That man had 1 week to study the playbook. And you guys were bashing him for allowing passes to be caught? Give the man some leniency. This season is going to be a huge one for Eli Apple. He's going to succeed extremely well. Not only did he have no time to play or to learn the playbook, anybody opposite of Marshawn Lattimore playing corner is going to get the ball thrown at them. You can't expect Eli Apple to defend 150 passes a game, bro. Literally, all of the passes that will be thrown will either be thrown in split zones or directly at whoever is not Marshawn Lattimore. They know what Marshawn Lattimore can do, and given Eli Apple's past, decided to test him, and he made them pay a couple of times last year. So getting 2 interceptions off, a forced fumble, which happened to be in New York, and 14 total passes defended last year, with 9 of them being in New Orleans. I think he had an extremely solid season, but I'm not 100% sold on him yet. I do think he can be an elite talent and show us that first-round potential he did when the New York Giants selected him in the first round. I'm going to give Eli Apple a B+, just because I need one more season to fully see what he can bring to the team, even though I think it's a lot more than Saints fans give him credit for. Everybody, stop hating Eli Apple. He's going to be a game changer next year, and I promise. Third corner, Patrick Robinson. I'm going to be going off of his 2017 stats because he only played 3 games in 2018 due to injury against the Atlanta Falcons. Patrick Robinson in 2017 had an 89.6 Pro Football Focus coverage grade, which is extremely elite. He was the second best slot corner in 2017, only behind Chris Harris Jr., which is an honor to be anywhere near Chris Harris Jr., because that man is one of, if not top 3 best corners in the league. Chris Harris is crazy, and to be ranked behind him is crazy. In 2017, Patrick Robinson had 4 interceptions, 39 tackles, and a sack. Patrick Robinson is a former Saint and has had a lot of time to fully study and solidify his knowledge on our playbook. He's probably going to study the new one we get for next year, and he's going to be back in it and hungry. Patrick Robinson is 31 years old and is ready to play his final years out. We signed him to a 4-year deal last season, and I expect him to fully play it out in New Orleans and retire there. Patrick Robinson is going to come in hungry. He is one of the best slot corners in the NFL and will prove it next year. I'm telling you, he's going to come back off of that injury hungry. I'm giving his personal grade an A flat. Not an A minus, not an A plus, an A. Because he's just an A player. I would give him an A plus, but I'm just not 100% sure how well he's going to perform after that injury. We just got to see. A lot of you guys were bashing him and saying cut him for that performance against the Atlanta Falcons. Guys, the first 3 or 4 games of the season, we were allowing 28 points per game. It's not Patrick Robinson's fault the entire defense was run amok. No. Our defense always starts out slow and gets hot towards the latter ends of the year for some reason. Don't blame Patrick Robinson for stuff he can't control. If the entire defense is playing bad, you're not going to be playing good. That's not how it works. Now that we have finished the starting corners, we're not going to go into backups because Lord knows I don't have the time for that. I am hungry. We're going to be going into safeties. This is a very controversial position on our team. A lot of people bash our safeties for whatever reason, but I'm going to get into why they're good. The first safety I have on this list is free safety Marcus Williams. Marcus Williams had a 70.8 Pro Football Focus grade last year, which is a very, very good grade. It's above average and ranks probably top 30 or 40 among all safeties in the NFL. That didn't sound right. Safeties, strong safeties and free safeties. Not just free safeties, because that would push him out of the starting line. You know what I mean. Yeah, he had 49 tackles, solo tackles, 1 sack, 3 passes defended, and 2 interceptions. While his performance did go down from his rookie year, his sophomore year was not as good. He had a case of Marshawn Lattimore. They both went through the same drop in production. That was due to our D-line being top in the league, our linebacking core being amazing with the addition of Demario Davis. Our defense worked more as a team than ever before. That drop in production was not due to players being worse than they were year prior. It was literally just because our defense was solidifying, and relying on one guy in one position was not necessary. Our entire defense was working together. The chains were moving. We all had it solidified. It was locked down. The defense did fantastic this year. Top 10 in my eyes, probably top 15 within numbers, but they still played fantastic team football, and that's what you want to see from a defensive unit. So Marcus Williams, I applaud thee. You're good, bro. I know people hate on you and say that you dropped in production, but let's be real, you didn't. You got messed up a couple times this season, but as a young player and as a safety in that matter, you're going to take the blunt end of every single play. Safeties are responsible for, I think, the most on the field, if not second most, from corners, obviously. But safeties have to cover up the corners' mess and the linebackers' mess. They're pretty much just the safety blankets, literally why they're called safeties. So they have to put up with a lot, man, and I can't blame Marcus Williams at all. You will learn as you grow, Marcus Williams. You will learn as you adult, as you grow up, as you get used to the NFL, as you develop your own unique play style, all that. You have a bright, bright future, and I see a future star in Marcus Williams, no doubt. The last player I have on this list is strong safety Vaughn Bell. Now, this is a player I'm extremely excited to talk about, and that is strong safety Vaughn Bell. Last year, Vaughn Bell had a 74.1 Pro Football Focus grade, which is a very, very, very large amount above average. 89 solo and assisted tackles, with 63 of those tackles being solo tackles, a sack, and 3 passes defended. Now, when you look at that Pro Football Focus grade, those 63 solo tackles, the sack, all of that, you're like, wow, where are the interceptions? That is the only thing that Vaughn Bell lacks. He is not he's not a great, spectacular playmaker, but he is solid. He does what he's supposed to do, stops the run, hits the players that get the ball, defends passes. He is a great, strong safety, and I'm going to go out on a whim and give this man an A+. I have been extremely satisfied with the play of Vaughn Bell in the last couple of years since we drafted him, and I think that he has a future and is a legitimate, can be a star in the next coming years in the NFL. Strong safeties don't get as many opportunities for interceptions. I almost said interceptions as free safeties do. So you can't really bash on him too much, man. He does what he's supposed to do, does it greatly, and makes plays in between other than picking the ball off. But yeah, A+. I love Vaughn Bell. I am telling you, that man is the key to everything. Next year is going to be his breakout year, guys. I'm telling you, he's breaking out next year. That's my breakout candidate. I'm excited to see Vaughn Bell's future, and I'm excited to see what the Saints secondary brings to the table next year. Now to tally the final grades and tell you guys what it is. All right, when you grab all of those numbers, add them up, divide them by 5, you get 95.7, which is an A tilting into A+ zone. If you round it up, 96, that's an A+. So I think our secondary is going to be extremely good next season. I think it has a lot of potential to be things that people didn't think it can be. So yeah, let me know what you guys think below. Let me know some grades if I was stupid and overgraded someone or undergraded someone. Let me know what you think below. I am very optimistic about our secondary, as you can tell by the fact that I graded everybody so graciously. I think our secondary can do a lot. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Adios.